Okay, so we're driving the bandwagon of more non-oil exports. Agriculture has been a very good part of Nigeria's GDP growth in recent years. Now, last week, the government says it's taking several metric tons of Nigeria's yam tubers by way of exports to the United States and other parts of the world in a new drive to get foreign exchange. So the man who by the name African farmer Mogaji is an agri-business expert and is also a farmer by practice, despite the jacket and the blue collar he's wearing. Good morning.
Good morning.
I don't want the folks out there to be deceived, wherever they're watching us around the world, that this is how a new generation, the new generation of Nigerian farmers look like. So this is it. Not the way my father looked like, my late father looked like. So this is the new set of farmers. So let's start from the yam. Exports. Let's just go straight to the news.
Yeah.
This is good, as it were. These are desperate times.
Yeah.
The government needs all the FX it can get. So whatever we can export, sand, paper, whatever it is, as long as it brings dollars, we got to get going. These times are hard.
Yeah, well, I agree with you. It's a good move because it opens the industry to opportunities. And yesterday, I was almost mobbed by people asking, is it real? How can I export yam? I ran away at a point in time.
Really? I thought, so the folks around who roast yams by the roadside are going to start getting scared.
They are already scared.
I'm going to check it out in the next couple of days if prices of roasted yam on the street side, on the sidewalk, has moved up.
If you go to Mile 12 as at yesterday, because I made some calls there, they said once you mention yam, they want to make dollar.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the trend has changed. Even in the rural communities, everybody wants to earn dollar now.
Oh, my. Oh, my. Very interesting. And we're going to look at a picture of one of the yam markets there. Just look at that on your TV screen, and you can see that's a whole load of yam production in Nigeria with the data from the Bureau of Statistics. 18.3 million metric tons produced from 1.5 million hectares. Do we still have room for expansion? Is there a room here for everyone? Just hold on a second here. We've gone through about 2 regimes of agri-products massively. We did rice under Obasanjo, isn't it?
Yeah.
Then there was cassava.
Yeah.
Then we had a bit of a blowback from there when prices of rice showed up locally. Then we had the cassava, then gari and all that. The prices went up, and everyone turned around to blame President Obasanjo and his administration for causing that because cassava started going out. Yeah. Now this is yam. Is it likely President Buhari and his team will get some flack from this when prices, the retail prices at the local market, start going up?
Well, within the next 2 weeks, the prices will start to go up. I just feel that they are actually thought through the value chain. It's expected. But when you look at it, you have fewer people, especially the yam value chain. We have fewer people going into yams like cassava. So if we encourage export now, which is supposed to be a good thing, we would be having a challenge with supply because the transportation of the yams from the rural communities will go high. The yam sets, also will go high. Everything was the prices will just...
In that corridor?
Yeah, in that corridor will go high. And the average youth, we have elderly people who are farmers, who are farming yams. You don't have youths in that value chain. So there's going to be a bit of, challenge with 1, getting it, and 2, the pricing. So, but it's going to... within the next maybe 3-4 months, you're going to find many ignorant private sector people rushing into the sector to go and produce yams. Because the information, the yams to export, it's not all yams that you export. Now, so, and the seed, I always have a challenge with most of these policies and initiatives. Now, you should drive the value chain, not just the end product. Now, if you drive the value chain to show that really export is not as profitable as producing the seeds. Yam seed is more profitable than the export. So drive the value chain, then it would balance out. But when you just drive the export, you would have issues.
But the seed with the yam for the few years I spent on the farm as a boy was the head of the yam, isn't it?
Yes.
That's the seedling.
Well, no. Well, that's part of it.
Part of it.
Yes,
you can replant.
You can replant, and you at a point in time you can also grow tubers to a smaller size, and now replant that or cut that,
or slice that out.
Or slice that out.
Yes.
So that is actually more profitable. Now, what has happened is, yes, the good thing is we have many people who are looking at that value chain now. However, if you want to grow yams now, you don't have seeds.
Okay, so folks, we're looking at the end product. Was that the same policy problem, if I use that very carefully, that we had with rice and with cassava?
That's the same trajectory that we're going now. We should be pushing value chain. I would want a situation where we'll be able to say, okay, we want to pick yam, and it's going to be a 2-year project. I don't always see 2-year project. The committee was set up in February, and we want to perform miracles around this time. And the prices of yam normally go up now. New yams don't do well as the old yams, even when in export, even in taste. The moisture is high, it's prone to more exposure to diseases and co. So, the timing, just like the tomato, the last time I was here, I spoke to you about the timing. Let's take people through the process rather than just push the opportunity to them and they just find out that many people will just rush into it.
And what they call the herd instinct, isn't it? You know what they call the herd instinct? Yes, all animals going in the same direction.
Yes.
And no one is saying, hold on a second, what's over there? Then we're all caught in that trap, as it were. So, in terms of pushing the value chain,
yes,
what needs to change from the government side of things?
Well,
stakeholders consultations, meetings, public information, what have you?
Now, the Anchor Borrowers program.
Well, the central bank.
For central bank, where they provide financial resources readily available. Then you tie it to the end producer, the big organizations, flour mills and co. Now, this is what I would expect that should happen. Not for government to export yam. There are some Nigerians who have been exporting yams for years. I know some 15 years. And let me use this word. There's a cartel also in Europe, especially in UK. I don't want to use the cartel, but they've developed expertise in the area of bringing yams, vegetables, and co. So I understand there's a conversation with them. However, they should be the ones to be empowered, to say, okay, we want to bring this thing in, and so how do you work with us? They've engaged them.